Alright guys, let me explain. Destiny's talking to the number one propagandist that just got fired because he doesn't know how to do better propaganda. That's how bad it is to do propaganda for Israel. It's a very hard job. The number one propagandist is going to ask Destiny, oh my god, how is it possible? Oh, I suppose if you're going to feed people all these fake stories, they're going to believe anything, but can we try to stop it? Which is insane kind of projection. And I just wanted to show you guys this clip, and I want you guys to respond to this because this is kind of insane amounts of projection that he's projecting. He's the number one propagandist. Anytime Destiny mentioned any story, he would come up with his own propaganda, try to filter the story and try to come up with a certain emotion from that story that makes you really hate the Gazan side. Anyways, I digress. I'm going to let you guys check out this clip and we'll comment afterwards.
They're waging a war of information attrition. I can say, as a government spokesman for the first part of the war, I'm not anymore. But it was like playing a game of whack-a-mole that you never know where the next allegation is going to come up. And I imagine if people are being constantly fed fake story after fake story, then literally they'll believe anything. And then I'm tearing my hair out and wondering, why are there so many people who will automatically believe anything Hamas says, not believe what Israel says? Why is it so easy for Hamas to game international public opinion and get away with it?
I mean, in my opinion, I think the crucial error was when Israel began to negotiate through, Begin called it capsule theory, or it was called capsule theory, the idea that you can extricate these individual Arab countries in negotiating peace, that when you look 50 or 60 years ago, it's easy to be sympathetic towards the story of Israel against the world, the David and Goliath, but now we're so far removed from all of
that sympathy did very much for Israel because, War of Independence, it's up with its back against the wall, and these, Jews who had just went through the Holocaust and those who'd managed to...
See, this is what I'm talking about. He's the number one propagandist. And then he tries to project upon Destiny a question. Oh, well, how is this possible that these guys believe any story you tell them when he's literally just spinning this new story right now?
Escape just in time of fighting with the arms they're able to smuggle and a couple of planes from Czechoslovakia.
True, I mean, you can argue that, but in '73, I'm pretty sure the United States was eager to replace every single lost piece of armor, every single lost munition, without a question asked. There was so much financial support.
In '73, the United States threatened Israel in some very serious ways. It's not true they gave them an absolute carte blanche. The way that Kissinger conducted his negotiations with Golda Meir, she had to stand firm against the U.S. and say, we're not your client state. We're going to do what we need to protect ourselves.
I understand those were the statements, but the United States was a massive backer of Israel, which means with that backing comes some degree of responsibility as well, right? Like it's not just carte blanche to do whatever, but like the idea of marching your armies north towards Beirut or crossing, was it I think it was the west bank of the Sinai River, like on the way to Cairo, or the Suez, on the way to Cairo. I mean, obviously the United States can't be seen as backing what could have become like the country. Sure, I'm just saying, it comes with conditions. I'm just saying that the support then was, I would say I don't remember, but I guess I wasn't alive. It seemed like the United States was able to have all that financial support without there being colleges that were protesting, chanting death to
triggered the whole, this was the time of the Arab oil embargo as well. But specifically, if we move to today, I'm trying to understand why it is so easy for Hamas to gain public opinion. And the same media outlets that fall for Hamas propaganda lie after propaganda lie. Like you're repeating a lie from a terror organization that told you that it didn't abduct or massacre civilians and continued saying that even as it released them. Why does the world keep falling for Hamas propaganda? Like, explain to me on like a macro level and a micro level as well.
I mean, I think it's like I said, I think that now, like if you grow up, like even my impression was just Israel versus Palestine. You can't even really, it's kind of weird to say this, but you can't even really say the word Arab in the United States without it feeling like it's coming from a racist person. You don't, like just saying, like calling somebody like an Arab, even saying that feels racist. It feels weird. Just in the United States, it's just not a thing that we say much.
I mean, it's a language they're using themselves. You see that.
No, I understand, but I'm just saying.
In the Kurdish Intifada, you hear them chanting in Arabic, "Min maya al maya, Palestine Arabaya." From water to water, Palestine will be Arab.
Yeah, I just in the West, especially. I think I shouldn't say in the West, in the United States, especially after 9/11, we had to deal with a whole bunch of, we had a lot of hatred towards Al Qaeda, and then the Taliban, and then generally the Middle East, and so we kind of had to rein.
Anyways, I don't know where they're going. They're digressing, but I'll let you go back to the conversation. I just want to respond to this point. Why is it so easy for Hamas to get public opinion? Are you joking? All they have to do is post a video of you murdering a baby and blowing its head off. Or you cluster bombing into a refugee camp. Or you bombing with multiple munitions, multiple dumb bombs, 2,000-pound bombs into hospitals filled with people. or the operations where you dress up as a civilian with holding a fake baby. You're holding a fake baby and you go into the hospital and start murdering people with your AK-47 as IDF soldier. It's very easy for them when these clips are out for them to get this public support. They don't, and also they don't need to start spinning narratives. They say, yeah, we actually committed to this operation. We wanted to go. This was a military operation. Our objectives were military in standard. We did find some civilians. Unfortunately, we did kill them, but we did accomplish our mission and military objective, for example. Whereas IDF is like, everything was a mistake. Oh, by mistake. I'm so sorry. We didn't even know. As if it wasn't their military objective to empty the area from any human being, even if it is a civilian. Then they're like, oh, it was a mistake. Well, clearly, of course, everything is going to be a mistake for you then. Because it's act first, then make a mistake later. Or respond to the media later. If they even find out about this mistake. Usually, you hope to God nobody has any cameras in the area anyways. Anyways, guys, I digress, but this is the point. Hamas is easy for them to get support. It's easy because they don't even have to post pictures of themselves. They have to post pictures of the people they're acting like they're protecting. Even if it's the word acting, they're still, this is the governance over these people. And they're just posting pictures and videos of their own people. It's very easy for them to make public support. Whereas all you have is lies, innuendos, misrepresentation, propaganda, basically hoping that we're so stupid that we would believe you, and we won't believe you because you can't keep telling us 50% of all of Gaza toppled and damaged houses, which are civilian infrastructure. 50% of civilian infrastructure in Gaza has been destroyed or damaged. You cannot say that this is a war against military objectives. This is a war against the civilians of Gaza. So nobody can trust the Israelis. It's easy for Hamas to get public support. It's easy when you topple 50% of the civilian infrastructure in a country or a state.
And some anti-Arab, I guess you could call it Islamophobic sentiment or whatever in the United States.
No, you still need to be honest and call a spade a spade.
No, apparently that Hamas already agreed to the hostage release, but IDF and Israel will not accept the recent negotiations. So it's not even Gaza. Gaza wants to release the hostages, but Israel will not accept any negotiations.
It's extreme political correctness.
You can. I'm just explaining where it comes from. I'm just saying that when that's the background, that's what I grew up in, right? And then when I look to Israel-Palestine, all I see growing up is you've got this massive country of Israel where people are outside sipping coffee, watching, an Iron Dome intercept rockets, and then my impression is that the Palestinians
They should really be inside if there are rockets there.
Sure, yeah, but then the impression is the Palestinians are obviously, far less equipped to deal with the combat. You look at the death figures on both sides. Like on an immediate surface glance, it looks incredibly one-sided, incredibly horrible. It doesn't look like the Israeli-Arab conflict. It looks like the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
You say Israel is essentially the victim of its own success because it's been able to invest so much in defensive technologies and create this semblance of normality in the most abnormal circumstances.
Because it's been able. Why is he's such a propagandist, bro? He's acting like, by mistake, Israel became the number one defense has the number one defense system in all of the world in the middle of the Middle East. As if he's acting like this is by mistake. As if, thank God, we're a victim of our own success. What the fuck? Yeah, as a colonial power, of course, nobody's gonna have ever like you. Doesn't matter how much successful you become at defending yourself. You're murdering too many people. The problem is, this is crazy. Like, all you have to do is flip it on him. What if he's the one in Gaza? Can he actually care about Israel's success? Like, what success of what? Being able to murder people? Like, he's such a propaganda machine. This is crazy. He's spinning this Iron Dome and all these defensive weapons. Of course, they have defensive weapons, but also most of the Israel and the IDF is all offensive in nature. Tanks, bombs, drones, robots are murdering Palestinian kids. And you're gonna act like, we're a victim of our defensive posture. No, you're not a victim of your fucking offensive posture, you pig. You liar, propagandist. I see Destiny's getting pissed at this guy.
Dances. But the Palestinians are just better at playing the victim card?
Plus, the Palestinians are better at playing the victim card. You see how disgusting this person is? I'm going to let it play again. But see how disgusting this human being is? He's such a disgusting human being. How is Palestinian being better at playing the victim card? October 7th, 1,000 people died, and you played the biggest victim card. Palestine, 100,000 of them died. They can't even play one victim card yet. They can't win this victim war. Even according to proportionality, they can't. According to what can they win the victim war then? Disgusting propagandist. Disgusting. They were so mad about October 7th because 1,000 people died. But the Palestinians can't be mad and cannot act like victims because 100,000 of them are dead. This is disgusting. And 50% of their whole territory is destroyed. This is disgusting. Who is this human being? Didn't he lose his job? Why is he still lying? Disgusting filth. I will debate you on any moment and I will embarrass you. You would never talk to me, illy bitch.
Success because it's been able to invest so much in defensive technologies and create this semblance of normality in the most abnormal circumstances. But the Palestinians are just better at playing the victim card?
I mean, arguably that's in some ways kind of, it can be the story of history, right? That the Arab countries were so successful through conquest, that the dissolution of the Ottoman Empire and all the Arab countries looking around for who's going to be the next leader, it has, because they were so successful, well, now they've been, devoured by their success. And because the Jews had so much trouble in history, but they finally got a country, right? They have one country to go to, one country to defend. Their backs are against the wall. It's annihilation the entire time. Those set of circumstances forced, really wise diplomatic choices, really wise military choices that, yeah, sometimes you can become, I guess, strengthened by adversity and sometimes the victim of your success.
Yeah. And there's definitely Israel's strength that it's strengthened by adversity, but it's funny to hear you talking about saying, look, in the early days, Israel had its back against the wall. It was surrounded by Arab armies. We're in a reality where Israel is being attacked on 7 fronts by Iran and its proxy armies, from Lebanon and Syria and Gaza and the West Bank and Yemen and Iraq and Iran itself. And internationally as well, around the diaspora, when you consider that Iran's evil supreme leader praised the College Tentifada as part of the resistance front. And you've got the same dynamic of Israel being a back against the wall, a small minority country, or a tiny minority of the world's population, surrounded by terrorists who want to kill us.
It's not the same.
By the way, the number 1 racist country in the world. You can only become a citizen of that country if you're a certain ethnicity. It's fucking disgusting.
It's not even close to the same. Being attacked by proxy armies, that's...
No, not even certain ethnicity. You have to be a certain religion. Imagine how disgusting that is. That's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. The most racist, disgusting thing I've ever heard. A country that you are only allowed citizenship if you are that religion. That's a religious supremacy country. That's insane.
A good thing because it means normal armies aren't attacking you for diplomatic reasons.
But at the same time, they kick out anyone that is not from that religion out of their country, and they're taking their lands. This is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard of in my life.
It's not a good thing for the 60,000 Israelis who are displaced in the north.
That's true, but would you rather be attacked or be would you rather be instigated by Hezbollah and have Jordan and Saudi Arabia helping to intercept your rockets from Iran, or would you rather have Saudi Arabia and Iran and Jordan and Syria and Lebanon and everybody?
I mean, Hezbollah has the 8th largest missile stockpile in the world. We call it a proxy army. It's an army. I mean, it's by far the most powerful army on Israel's border. The fact that it's acting in league. I mean, it's an allied army of Iran. It doesn't make a difference.
But it says something that Jordan and Egypt are not attacking Israel, are they? Even when the Muslim Brotherhood came into power in Egypt, that there was still that letter that was sent, and
But Israel is still surrounded on 7 fronts, and people aren't able to zoom out and look at
you
that
said this part.
picture.
What are the 7 fronts? Wait, when you say that.
Gaza.
Okay.
West Bank.
Destiny Economy is like, hey, you keep seeing 7 fronts, but where are those 7 fronts?
Lebanon,
I don't understand.
where we have daily rocket and suicide drone attacks.
3rd front.
Syria, we've had rockets coming from Syria. Iraq, last week we intercepted...
As if they're not the ones inside Syria. Hey, isn't Israel the one inside the Julan Heights?
A UAV coming from Iraq.
This guy's the number 1 propagandist.
Yesterday we intercepted a ballistic missile sent by the Houthis from Yemen. And Iran as well, which launched 350 ballistic missiles, cruise missiles and UAVs in Israel just a few weeks ago. We've already forgotten about it.
And I'm sympathetic. I can be sympathetic towards the enemies that you have, but I mean, what a list of enemies to have. You've got Gaza that has been flattened by 8 months of military operations, 7 months of military operations. You've got
after they burned
Hezbollah, which is competing with... That's true, it's horrible, but I'm just, in terms of military capabilities, right? You've got Syria, which is a failed state.
Damn, Destiny is kind of burning him. He's like, man, your enemies are weak. But hey, that's kind of burn on us as well, the Arabs, but still.
You've got Yemen, which is a failed state. You've got Iran, which is scary, but there's some distance between you and them. And you've got
No, but that's
people
what
in
makes
the
them so scary that they're failed states, because there's no way that you can deal with them in the context of the international rules-based order or treat them within the context of diplomacy. These are rogue terrorist actors exploiting the chaos in the Middle East. And Israel is trying to create some semblance of normality and Western freedom in a world surrounded by religious lunatics who are trying to exploit chaos and anarchy to destroy us.
And
Damn! So now you guys figured it out? All these guys all 7 fronts are just terrorists. All these countries are terroristic countries. And they all want to just destroy lovely Israel, the religious supremacist state of Israel, that only you can become a citizen of our state if you are part of our religion. So we have so imagine, like, I cannot even wrap my head around this. You cannot become an Israeli citizen except if you're a Jew, and America supporting the supremacist, religious supremacist state to the final battle. And I know why America is doing that, because they want these Jews to kill all the Arabs with a nuclear demolition, where they just end each other, they just remove each other from existence. According to Pike Albert, that's the plan, and Pike Albert's not been wrong ever since he started making these plans. If you guys don't know who Pike Albert is, he's a general that said that he could summon Satan any moment he wanted. Pike Albert is the one that actually predicted World War I for World War II, and he's predicting World War III, and he predicted World War I and World War II almost incredibly to precise details. He named the nations that are going to be in the war. Anyways, so the World War III is going to be about the annihilation of the Zionists and the Arabs. So that's nuclear bomb. And then the liberals will become satanic, and they will take over, and they will oppress all the rights of the people inside their liberal countries. Anyways, guys, interested in your opinions. This guy is a freaking lying person. He's been lying about these countries being terrorists. I guess any country that has a problem with Israel murdering people is a terroristic nation, and if you do not follow their orders completely to the T, then they're just going to bomb you, and you become another part of their puzzle, another terroristic organization against them. So it's not Hamas that's a terroristic organization. It's Syria, Lebanon, Iran, Yemen. It's all these countries are terroristic organizations. It's not even the organization within them. This is how Elion has fell with his fear. He's literally scared of everybody. I don't even think he can sleep at night. I really don't think he can sleep at night. How can a coward sleep? He can't sleep he always sleeps with one eye open.